We have an interesting story developing out of Texas. This comes from a man named Zack. And honestly, I do not know how long his videos are going to stay up on social media, and a lot of people are chiming in worried about his safety. Let me tell you about his story. So he recently purchased a property out in Texas and he's converting it to an Airbnb. While they were out there cleaning up, they found file cabinets of what may be classified documents and newspaper clippings. The property was owned by a previous Secret Service agent for President Johnson, and he may have stumbled upon documents that were not necessarily for the public eye, and he has started to post them. Now, some of the information he is keeping back from social media, but this is wild. Take a look at his videos and tell me what you think.
So we're out at the property right now, cleaning some stuff up, and Mitch and I are in the back of the property in the woods, and you will never believe what we just found back here. File cabinets. We're not 100% sure what to make of it yet, but we found some weird things in it, like this Secret Service folder, some government debrief documents, a picture of George and Barbara Bush with a handwritten letter on the back of it, a bunch of different passports, and a whole lot more. So we decided to load up the file cabinets in the car and take it all back to my house. We sat here for hours going through all of it, and at a certain point we were honestly wondering if we should be even reading some of this stuff. What we eventually figured out was there was this guy named Lee who was either the previous owner's uncle or father-in-law. And not only did Lee spend a ton of time in Japan per his passport stamps for some branch of the Air Force in the 60s, but after that he was in the Secret Service and was on Lyndon B. Johnson's detail. But anyway, we're going to keep going through some of this stuff, and if you want to see what we find, stay tuned. Through all the documents we found at the property, and a lot of it I really don't think I should share on social media, but I will share some of it. He was in the Secret Service on the Johnson Protective Detail, protecting former President Lyndon B. Johnson and his wife, Lady Bird Johnson. And while he was on this protective detail, he lived and worked in Stonewall, Texas at the LBJ Ranch, but he reported to someone at this address. And aside from him just working on the protective detail, it seems that he knew Lyndon and Lady Bird Johnson on somewhat of a personal level, because he had multiple handwritten and signed Christmas cards and letters, and there are multiple photos of him inside the LBJ Ranch dancing and hanging out with Lady Bird Johnson and Lyndon B. Johnson. And judging from his written little comments in the margins of newspaper cutouts, it seems he had some doubts about the health decline of LBJ. I think he was also acquaintances with Richard Nixon, because he had multiple Christmas cards and handwritten letters and signed photos of Richard Nixon. And judging based on the newspaper printouts that he had, he was very concerned with some of Nixon's affairs. But anyway, I think that's all I'm going to say on social media, at least for now.